Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, what are my 3 favorite meals on the carnivore diet? Let me include a little bit of personal information and maybe explain why these are my favorite 3 meals. 51 years old, 6th grade teacher, just had 18 days off for winter break, which gave me a good starting spot for the carnivore diet. Today was my first day back in the classroom. I'll tell you what I prepped today for food too. Definitely different being back in the classroom. When you have all the time on your hands, it's easy to make food. So my top 3 foods are this. Number 1, crock pot, shredded beef. I love shredded beef. I love shredded beef when I'm not on the carnivore diet. I love shredded beef when I am on the carnivore diet. I do season a little bit. You can decide if this is a good fit for you and how strict you want to be on the carnivore diet. But I put a little bit of garlic in there. I put a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, some other kind of spices. As long as there's no sugar, then I'm probably gonna put a little bit in, not a ton. And also maybe add a little bit of salt. Believe it or not, on the carnivore diet, you're gonna eat more salt than you expect to eat. You're gonna end up liking butter, probably. And the amount of water that you need to drink, just plan on doubling whatever you normally drink. So if you do the carnivore diet and you feel tired right now, drink more water, get electrolytes. My second favorite food on the carnivore diet, steaks, T-bone steaks. It's really fun trying out all these different steaks, and I'm like, hey, I'll try out a New York steak. I don't, before the carnivore diet, I was like, I've had a New York steak, but what's the difference between a New York steak and a T-bone steak? And what's the difference between those and a tri-tip steak? Or filet mignon, even I tried out. It's really fun to kind of dive in and try them out, see which ones I like. Filet mignon, I liked, but not that much. T-bone steaks, I love. I can have these every day, 1 meal a day, T-bone steak, not a problem. And I feel like I could do that for a long period of time. And some of the others, like the New York steak, I didn't like it as much. I didn't feel like it had enough fat to it. And where typically when I'm not on the carnivore diet, I would cut off every single tiny piece of fat. Now that I'm on the carnivore diet, I still can't eat the whole thing of the T-bone steak. Like some of the really, really fatty parts, like these big nodules of fat, I can't eat it. It grosses me out. But I no longer cut off all the little pieces of fat. In fact, I'm making sure that I force myself to eat that fat. So I am at day 19 of the carnivore diet. By the way, I've lost 11.5 pounds. I feel fantastic. What that means is my body is now burning fat for fuel. And so I need to make sure that I'm giving my body that fuel. The way I like to think of it is that my body's burning fat from 2 different locations. One is the fat that I'm eating, like the steak is gonna have fat. The other one is the fat that's on my belly and the other parts of my body. And it kind of uses both of those two. And it almost, I feel like, at least for me mentally, it helps me to realize that your body kind of needs fat from both of those locations to really work, at least at the stage of the carnivore diet that I'm in now. So I don't want to be going lean with my meats and thinking, I'll just burn up all my body fat. It just doesn't work that way. I don't know the exact science, but it doesn't. You got to eat your fat. Also, your body will lean out on its own. Stay the course. It seems to be working. Again, I'm talking like I'm an expert. I'm not. I've watched a lot of videos, too many videos maybe, and I'm only 19 days in. My last and final meal is ground beef. And I no longer get like the 90-10 ground beef. Nah, I get like the 80-20 ground beef. Anytime I can, I get grass-fed. Now, I'm a teacher. I'm on a budget. I got 3 kids. I got a wife that works her tail off. I cannot go spend a ton of money on this diet. Because I'm not buying other things, other foods, I'm saving so much money in those areas. I thought this diet was gonna be very expensive. I'm not finding it to be that way. I don't think it's very much more expensive than my old way of eating. Now, my old way of eating included lots of fast food, and I wasn't being very budget friendly with my diet anyway. So now that I'm a little bit smarter with the money, but I'm spending it intentional. Grass-fed meats when I can. And I think that it's really helping me out. I've also noticed a couple foods. Those are my 3. Okay, let's do it. Crock pot, T-bone steaks, any kind of steaks. T-bone is the one I want. Ground beef. Those are my 3 favorites. Try those out if you're trying to figure out the carnivore diet. Again, I kind of like spice to taste, no sugars. Also, I add some hot sauce as long as the hot sauce has no sugar and the ingredients look simple. So I do kind of cheat, I guess, in that way, but I'm no longer like, I'm not cheating and grabbing a cupcake. No. I'm cheating by like adding a little garlic. I don't know, is that cheating or is that like ridiculous? I don't know, that's where I'm at with it. Hey, let me add a little bit more information though, especially if you're kind of starting off on the carnivore diet. Some of the foods that I thought for sure I would love, like bacon and eggs every morning, I don't really desire it that much. So maybe 1 or 2 days a week, I'll have bacon and eggs and a little bit of sausage. I love it. But for two reasons. Number one, my body is not really craving the leaner meats, the chickens, and even the eggs and those kind of foods. My body is just not craving them at all. And I find myself wanting to dip them in butter if I'm going to eat them. And by the way, I would never think of doing that before the carnivore diet. But now that I'm on that diet, I'm like, yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. All right, friends, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Hey, listen, I sure appreciate you guys. This is about the 7th or 8th video that I've made. I see several of you guys leaving comments in the videos down below. I appreciate it so much. I've had several people put suggestions down there for me that changed the game for me. Like the screen guards that goes on a pan when you're frying in butter your steak, which I've always been a barbecue guy. Nope, now I like doing it on the pan, but it splatters everywhere. So someone was like, hey, for like $10, you can get the screen protector. Works fantastic. Thank you so much. Easy suggestion, easy solution. So thank you guys so much. Please be brave enough. Put a comment down below. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Also, if you have any suggestions for YouTube, I'll take it. Right now I'm using my phone. I'm using the front camera. I do not have any kind of a microphone. Hopefully you can see the sunlight's like filtering into the room that I'm in right now. If you appreciate me making these videos, please give them a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel would mean a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys. I hope your journey with the carnivore diet is going as well as mine is. See you next time.